Students of Success, Dr. Mike here. Today is day 3, where I'm talking about the success process. Now, the process that I'm talking about, we're going to be talking about steps 5 and 6 today, and then tomorrow we'll finish it off with 7 and 8. Now, I did not design this process. I've heard of this from different speakers over different time periods and kind of added things together. And I didn't add things together to be able to create it. I added things to it to mimic what I went through during my low times. And like when you listen to somebody, especially on the internet, people can talk about all types of different stories. Everything that I tell you about the times in my life, about education-wise, career-wise, relationship-wise, the huge hits that I took and the rebounds, I can document every type of thing. So these aren't like made-up stories that I am. And I did that in one episode, but I can do it at any point in time, and I will in the future. I'll show you my grades whenever I was in school. So when somebody comes to me and says, I can't do this, you know what? Don't ever say that to me. I've talked to so many different kids like, I'm not smart enough, I can't do this, it's too hard. You're talking to a guy that just about barely passed high school and now has a PhD. You're talking about a guy who couldn't collect money on a paper route when he was a kid because he was too scared to go to the door, to somebody who's owned about 15 different businesses, had some huge crashes but some amazing successes, and now I teach college. A guy who, like I said, that could hardly graduate high school, who just got done serving 4 years on the school board. Guy that didn't have a girlfriend all throughout high school, didn't have any types of relationships. Now I'm coming up on 30 years of marriage with 3 kids. How did I do all those things? I didn't give up. I didn't quit. That is one of the major keys to everything. Never, ever quit. So when we talked about this, and I related it to my story, the first thing was, wherever you're at right now, if you're not happy with it, you got to get angry as hell and hate that situation. If it's your health, if it's your career, if it's in relationships, we got to have contrast. That was step 1 that I talked about. Step 2, what do you want? What do you want for your life? What do you want for your health? What do you want for your career? What do you want for your relationships? People don't know what they want, so they're just wandering generalities in life. Step number 3, you've got to write it down. You have to put things in writing. It's not enough to just type things. It's not enough to just put it into your phone, because when you do, it just kind of goes into another space. I'm talking about writing things down on a daily basis that you can see right in front of you. And this, for steps 7 and 8, this is going to be critical that you do this. Okay? And then step 4 that we talked about is once you know what you want and you've written it down, you need to go out and add some physicality to it. Add something to it that you can touch, that you can smell, that you can visually see. You have to be able to see it to put it into reality, because too many times we don't really get the belief that this thing exists or if we can do it. But when you go out and you actually see that car, you sit in that car, you smell the leather, you take a picture with it, you're like, well, this is real. Because when we put together the plan in step 7 and 8, because you can't just sit around and say, I want this, I feel good about it, all these things, and expect them to just manifest and magically happen in your life. It's not going to happen. There are people that hate things, they want things, they write them down, but they're still in the same place after 10 years. So we have to be able to do these next steps. Now the next step, step 5 in the process, is we have to close our eyes and we have to feel the feelings. This is the feeling stage. We have to put feeling behind what we want. We have to feel what it'd be like to drive that car. If you just went out and you bought that car and you had it sitting in the driveway, how would you feel? How would you feel when you're driving down the road, when you're going past your friends? How would you feel? Imagine all of those feelings. If you had $1 million in the bank If you had your dream job and you were walking into your dream job, if it's a business that you're creating or whatever, feel what it would feel like. Feel like what it would do on a daily basis. What would it be like if you had the relationship of your dreams? Imagine waking up next to that person. Imagine all the things that go on in a relationship. Imagine being able to come home and have somebody to talk to. How would that make you feel? So whatever your goal was, let's just say it was fitness, and you're way overweight right now. You hate it. You know what you want. You've written it down. You've got pictures of what you want. Now, imagine that you've already accomplished it. Whenever you have that six-pack abs and you take your shirt off at the beach, not to impress anybody else, because we worry about us. How would it make you feel to feel the confidence? Feel every single thing as much as you possibly can. You may get to the point in this step right here where you thought that all you ever wanted was a brand new car, BMW. And then whenever you try to get to this step, you may come to some real clarity in what you really want out of life. To me, I thought I wanted material things until I got a lot of stuff. And my wife would say, "You're happy for about 10 seconds." Until I realized material things just don't do it for me. They just don't. I have no real material, yearning for anything. Do I want nice things? Do I like nice things? Absolutely. But they're not going to satisfy me. The satisfaction in life, about that dream, and putting into the feeling, think about pride. Think about self-pride. Think about how you will feel when you know you've accomplished it. So maybe it's not just the car, but what feeling does that give you? Pride, accomplishment, just an overall rinse that I can do anything I set my mind to. And this is just a starting point. So once you've got those feelings, we're going to move on to the next step. And the next step, since we've done all these things, is the knowingness. This is the knowingness step. Knowing that it is going to happen. Know that all of these things that you just decided upon and you've felt and you've written down, it's like an order placed, and that it is coming to you, but it is not coming on the time scale that you write down. It is coming based upon the universe and the time that you're ready for it. The attraction, the vibe, and the frequency that you put out, that's what's going to come to you. So when you decide that it will be there, I want you to all of your anxiety, all of your fear, all of your just anxiousness, fade it away. Fade it away, because those types of bad feelings of negativity are going to push that stuff away. We want to be able to attract it to us. And I'm not talking about attraction like some kind of laser beam or an attracting device or something like that. That's not the way that it works. We have to be opened up to those things. With frequency illusion, you'll see in the next two steps, the final two that we talk about tomorrow, on how we set our lives up to automatically attract these things into life. So at this point right now, if you just stopped in the process, the chances of achieving these things are very, very slim. Very slim. And you probably, at some point, if you don't do these next two steps we're going to talk about tomorrow, start to feel a little bit depressed. And a lot of people don't do these next two steps, and that is why they fail. They're the action steps, the things you have to be able to do. And we will lay it out, and I will give you a plan on the things to do to attract these things into your life, breaking them down. And the more specific you are at it, the more time you put into it, the faster these things are going to come. It is like a law of the universe. It has to happen. And the process that I'm going to show you, You can use it in your health, your career, your relationships, anything that you want to. Anything in your life that you want to be able to achieve, I believe you can. And it all comes down to a belief. And maybe you start off with smaller things until you can, because you don't believe it all. All this stuff I'm saying, you're probably like, this is a bunch of bull. I don't believe this stuff. My life is the way it is. I suck. I'm in the dumps. This is just how I was born. This is how I'll die. This is how my family was. This is how my parents are, my brothers and sisters. Everybody is at this level right here, and we're stuck. And that's just life. Well, that is not true at all. If you, whatever level you're at, it's because you choose to be at that level. You might not choose it consciously all the time, but subconsciously you do. And then it comes to the consciousness part of it where you're just like, you don't see the good things in life because you don't have the belief system. I've gone through this so long, and I've seen this happen in my life, that my belief is so high that I know that whatever I want, even when things are going bad, I believe that they're happening for a reason to be able to catapult me. So when something's going bad, it's almost like a celebration. You're like, uh-oh, something amazing is about to happen. And if you could do that to yourself whenever bad things happen, you can get out of that situation in your mind immediately and start attracting the things that you want. But we tend to live in that negativity because really negativity is kind of the default setting for all of us. And why is that a default setting? Because our minds are developed to protect us. And the best way to protect us from physical harm, from mental harm, emotional harm, is to think negatively. To worry about everything. Worry is like, it's like our defense mechanism. But too many people allow that defense mechanism to run their entire life. It's their whole programming. And yeah, we need to have that worry when a bear's coming at us, or we're walking across a big highway, or we're putting ourselves in a situation where it's very dangerous. We don't want to just be like, nah, whatever, it'll be okay. No. So there are things that serve us. All of our emotions serve us at some point in time in our lives and in the day. But we can't allow our emotions to rule our lives and direct it, especially the negative ones. Like I said, you can't think positively whenever you're in a situation that you could die. You got to worry about it, and you got to anxiety about it, and that will get you moving. But you can't live your life like that every single day. So let's recap right now. Whatever situation you're in, if you're not happy, which I know you're not happy, or you wouldn't be listening to this. You're fat, you're out of shape, your career sucks, you have no relationships, and if you do, they're failing. Don't overwhelm yourself with all three of those things. Pick one. Maybe pick your health. I hate the way that I look, I hate the way that I feel, this is impacting the rest of my life, I'm sick and tired of being this way. I'm sick and tired of my gut hanging over my pants, I'm sick and tired of my ass being so tight in my jeans. I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of just being sick all the time because my health is terrible and the way I eat and I never exercise. What do you want? Step 2. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to fit into the stuff I fit in 10 years ago. I want to be able to take my shirt off at the beach or be in a swimsuit, man or woman, whatever, and feel confident about myself. Not to show off to anybody. Don't worry about the rest of the world. We're talking about us. This is all us. This is personal development, not impressing development to impress everybody else. Once you know what you want, write it down. Make it real. Then go out and look at things. Go to a fitness show. Talk to people that are fit. Find out what they do. How do they live their life? You see somebody out somewhere, go up to them and say, I'm super impressed with you. How do you do this? What is your exercise routine? What do you eat? What do you do? Tell me your routine in the day. The answers are all there. You can find this on the internet. The answers are to everything. The next thing, feel what it would feel like. Feel what it would feel like to walk down the beach. Feel like what it would feel like to just get up, get out of the shower and look in the mirror and say, wow, I am super proud of myself. Because the only place that real happiness resides is in self-pride. It doesn't, the little instant little instantaneous flashes of dopamine high that we get that'll make us happy for 2 or 3 minutes comes and goes. But pride can last a lifetime. All of the hard work that it took to get to that body that you see in the mirror, that'll give you a sense of happiness, pride and happiness. And the next one that we talked about today is let it go. It's coming. It's coming. It's only going to come if you listen to tomorrow's when I tell you how to put the process to work for you. It's like an order placed. I know that the knowingness is going to bring it to me because I feel it. I see it. I touched it. I can hear it. All those things come together. So, with that, I ask you, why not? Why not you? Why not now? Are you not good enough? Do you not deserve it? You deserve to live the very best life possible. And you deserve to live it today, not sometime in the future. Remember, when you're putting this process together, there are only so many days in your life. And we're not the ones that make that determination. There's a higher power that does that. But we play a role in how we live those days. Are we going to live them fat and miserable, broke, with nobody around? Or are we going to live them fit, awesome career, an awesome person that we live with, and feel pride and happiness? It's all a decision away. We just have to make that decision and follow the steps I talked to you about tomorrow. So with that, please subscribe to my channel so you can get these things automatically. Live your best life today, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.